In this video, I'm going to go over some of the common things that I see problematic with form and manner with the ELDs, and it all starts with not setting up the ELD properly from the very beginning, which is causing these roadside violations. So let me go through all of these. This is one of the most frequent things that I see missing when a contractor comes to us and we go into their ELD and the carrier name inside of the ELD is incorrect. What I see a lot of times is inside of the administration dashboard of the ELD, there is a place in there to put a carrier, which is Federal Express Corporation. It is not your contract name. Do not put that in there. Don't, whatever, your contract name is, it should not be in your ELD. So you want to make sure that you have Federal Express Corporation. You want to make sure you have the 86876 DOT number, and you want the address as it is listed right here. The name and address and DOT number must match the numbers that are on the door of your truck. So make sure that if an officer is looking up 86876 and they look at the ELD and they go, oh, okay, all this matches. Also, with your paperwork inside of your truck, make sure that your annual inspection says Federal Express Corporation with the right DOT number. Make sure that, the cab cards and all match. You've got to make sure that everything matches to the number on the outside of the door of your truck. On every trip, there should be something in the shipment box of the ELD. The difficult thing about this on administering with the ELDs that are used in the line haul space is there's no report to run. The only way that you're going to be able to check on your drivers to make sure that they are putting something in the shipments is by looking at individual logs. And if you have a bunch of drivers, that's going to take some time to go through that. So you want to make sure that your drivers understand the proper methodology of putting things in the shipment. So let's start with Linehaul. Linehaul would like for the seal numbers from the trailers to be in the shipment line. They have some information on their website that from a couple of years ago that said this is our preferred method. We'd like the seal numbers. So think about this when you're talking to your drivers. If that's the preferred method and we got to put the seal numbers in, then your drivers are going to need little notebooks and pens. And as they're putting their sets together, they need to go to the back, write the seal number down. And then when they get back into the cab of the truck, then they're going to put the seal numbers inside of the shipment box of their ELD. So you got to teach them all this. You got to teach them some drivers take photos with their camera, go, oh, there's the seal number. And then they go back and they fill it into the ELD and things like that. So that's the preferred method. Now, a lot of drivers in the space put in FedEx parcels as one word. I mean, that's explaining the commodities that are in the trailer is FedEx parcels. And that is another acceptable way, not the preferred method that Linehaul wants you to do, but that is another way that some drivers do that. And then if the trailer is empty, I always tell drivers to put in, MT, there's obviously not going to be a seal number on that trailer or anything like that. And then that would designate that trailer didn't have anything in it. This is also can be helpful when you're doing settlements and, I moved the trailer, but there was nothing in it and things like that. And then BT for bobtail, meaning that I didn't have a trailer at all. We were just moving the tractor from here to there or whatever, and there was no tractor. Then later on, there's no question about what's going on. If you have the seal numbers, you know exactly which ones we're talking about, and then putting in that it was an empty trailer or that you were bobtailing, helps you manage and organize this in a lot more efficient way. Just like with the shipments, there is no report to run on your drivers to say, show me all the missing trailer numbers and the trailers and in my ELD dashboard. There's just not. So the way you're going to make sure this happens is you're going to train your drivers on putting the trailers in correctly and then just spot checking them on a regular basis to make sure that they're doing it. My experience is once you teach drivers on how to do this, they pretty much follow the same methodology every single time. So the way I train drivers on doing this is you're going to put in the lead trailer first, comma, then the dolly. I generally tell the driver to put in open parentheses, capital D for Delta, dolly, and then close parentheses, and then the dolly number, and then comma, the pup trailer. So it'd be lead trailer, dolly with a D in front of it, and then the pup trailer. Don't necessarily have to put the D on there, but it does help with, eliminating the question of which one was the dolly and all that. I get this from drivers that go, well, a dolly's not a trailer. You don't put that in at all. Listen, you have to survive a roadside inspection, and there may be some officer out there that says, hey, you didn't put the dolly in there, I'm going to give you a violation on this. Just don't take the chance on that. Lead trailer, dolly with a D in parentheses, pup trailer. Okay. Then if that, let's say, a driver is a solo driver and leaving from one terminal with two trailers and a dolly, okay? Lead trailer, dolly, pup trailer. They go up, they drop those trailers, probably still have the same dolly. Then they would have the two other trailers, the ones they picked up on the turn. So then you would have lead trailer, dolly with a D, pup trailer, comma, trailer number 3, and trailer number 4. That's how it would look like in the ELD. And that is the same format. If you'll teach your drivers that format, it'll be the same every single time. And then for spot drivers, they may have, 10 to 12 trailers in there. And you just want to make sure that they're in the right order on that. That also helps with the organization of, how did their day go? Are they running to Menards? Are they going to Walmart? Are they going to Home Depot? Or, where all did they go? It helps with doing all this. Having the proper documentation in the ELD obviously helps with eliminating roadside violations, which we talk about in the CSA score, that a lot of the violations because we didn't have shipments or trailers or anything in the ELD. So we're going to eliminate all those violations by just making sure this is done. And then when you get in those situations where you're being questioned, I didn't get paid, or I did a run, or I did a bump, or I did some spots and I didn't get paid for it, having the shipment information, having the trailer information is going to give you the evidence from the ELD to say, no, here's my driver's log, here's everything there, send it to Linehaul, and it'll make a lot easier to prove those missing legs and runs and things that you're dealing with. So keep form and manner, make sure that you have all of it in the right way in the system. Your drivers are following the right procedures like I outlined in this video here, and you won't have any problems.